Hello, everybody. Good morning. It is episode 7, TICPodcast, and it is almost 8 o'clock. It is not 8 o'clock yet. It is 7:47 a.m. on Monday, the 4th of April, and some very topical things have happened, but some very exciting things have happened that I want to talk about, and I kind of want to talk about both. But you know, I'm not going to talk about some subjects that we all know about. I want to talk about something personal. Um, Recently, Taylor Hawkins had passed, and at first the details were unclear. But later on we found out that he was having chest pains, and he was touring and had to uh, go to the hospital, and we lost him. We lost Taylor Hawkins, and I don't know how Dave Grohl is gonna handle it because Taylor was basically his best friend, and right after he lost Kurt Cobain. Um, it's pretty personal to me because growing up, I felt like Foo Fighters was my main band. It was like the first band that I felt like was me, and like I could really identify with, and their sound was exactly like what I wanted, and you know, it's really a shame because you know they've been a band for over 20 years, and it's probably the last time we'll see like an alternative rock band. um we keep losing people in rock and roll. We lost Chris Cornell, we lost Chester Bennington. um we lost tons of grunge guys like Lane Stanley, um Andy Wood. Just tons of the hard life rock star stuff. And I think Taylor wasn't even on anything. Like, it didn't really get specific last time I watched the news, but he's a family man. He's a father. I do not think he was on anything other than just drinking. And I just want to start this podcast by remembering Taylor because he wasn't just a drummer. He was a good man, and he also was a front man for his own band, and he just lit the room. Everybody who played with him loved him, and everybody who watched him live loved him. So, getting that out of the way, I want to talk about some things with my company and my whole experience on filmmaking and stuff. So let's get into that. Rip the Falcon episode 2, Hotel California, has been submitted to 3 film festivals internationally, 2 in the UK and 1 in Italy. And yeah, I'm very excited, and I've been told that one of them is already going to be like in the festival. So I'm I'm kind of like anxious as I can be for this moment because I worked on this episode for like 6 months, and it really does feel like my best work. Like I rewatch that straight to finish. Every single time I put on the video, I'm glued to it, and it really is like my favorite thing I've ever made. And I get to show it internationally in like a critic, and I shared it like the Amazon stuff on my Instagram account, Tick Studios LLC on Instagram. And when I did that, I got tagged by a film fest or followed or something. and I'm like, fuck it. Like, let's try this out. I entered, I shared it on Twitter, and then I got like a million people begging to have me submit to their film fests. And I had a really nice lady reach out to me personally, and we talked, and it was great. And you know, I had to figure a way out to submit to her, and I did. And I'm on cloud nine because it really shows that hard work pays off. When I started doing animation, I wanted to be a filmmaker, and I wanted to do like television style. And when I released my episode, it had a pretty good premiere. Like, it got like 300 views in a month, but then it just declined. Like, it didn't get any views forever, and it's almost at 1,000 in about a year, which I'm super excited about. But I see some videos that were made with like no effort at all, and they were made like in 2 seconds. And for some reason, the YouTube likes dumb and stupid and fast. And I worked on this thing for like 6 months. And when I premiered Rip the Falcon episode 2, it took a while to get to 300 views, and it's about like 450 now. And so I felt like, wow, what am I doing wrong? Like, why isn't this great video that I love getting more views? And it's easy to be defeatist. It's easy to be like, man, like, I don't understand this world. Like, why is it that like short form, dumb, loud, like obnoxious content is like the stuff that everybody watches? Well, like, the good stuff just doesn't get any attention. However, I want to say, on the flip side, it pays off in the long run, because I got my show on Amazon Prime, and I have not seen a lot of people do that. There are not a lot of independent animators on Amazon Prime. There's a couple, but it's not often, and definitely not as often as YouTube or even Vimeo. And so I'm really proud that not only was episode 1 up there, but I got episode 2 up there. And I have 5 reviews, and only one of them is bad. I got 4 5-stars and 1 1-star. And I feel like I'm doing something right if I'm getting on film festivals and I'm getting attention on Amazon. Like, it's so much like in the blink of an eye. Like, the internet is fast. Like, it's just instant. And so you think that way. You think, like, if I make content, it's automatically got to be now. Like, if I don't get 1 million subscribers in like one day, then I fail as a filmmaker, or I fail as an animator, or whatever. And honestly, like, I've been doing YouTube since 2006, and I just started getting success as soon as I took my channel seriously. Like, it's easy to be in the defeatist attitude, like, oh man, why me, blah blah blah. But it's like, you get what you put into it. And even though I didn't get instant success, it is there. Like, I am starting to get like somewhere with my whole channel and brand and everything. I'm getting work. I got approached by someone to join their studio, and I kindly said no thank you, because I had an even better opportunity. My good friend Mega R. Daniels approached me about being the head of Megatoons Network, which is his company, and I'm going to be the studio that produces content for his cartoon division. And I I'm thrilled. I'm thrilled. I get to actually say that I followed my dream. I became an independent studio and I got work from a regular client. And we're going to do a short, and then we're going to do YouTube size stuff. And I'm not just like some independent contractor, like I'm the guy. Like it's like he came to me. So, like, instant success is fleeting. It's so fleeting. Like you chase it, yeah, but really, like, it's about the effort, I think. Because, what are you going to do long run? Like, you might make something and get like 20,000 views or something, but then it'll just stay there and no one will really care. It's just like, oh, it got a lot of views and that's it. But, even though I don't have those 20,000 views and I only got about 400, I made something I love, and I get to say, it's in a film festival. So, I really kind of feel like success is something that people kind of don't really talk about, in the sense that, you know, it's like you have to work on it over time, you know. There's a lot of get rich quick schemes. There's a lot of, like, instant schemes, how to game the system. But I mean, I never approached it that way. My attitude was always just kind of work hard and get results. And that attitude is kind of old and might argue that that's not the way it is now. But, it is working. It is working. Um, like 2 years ago, I started from nothing. My YouTube channel was just some random dormant channel. And I've been at it like every other week, producing content for like 2 years. And I'm almost at 400 subscribers. It's crazy. And, I've been upgrading. I moved into a better spot. That was awesome. And then I actually got upgraded to TV Paint. I just bought that on the 1st. And I should be getting that email to download it real soon. But, the stuff I could do with TV Paint is, like, insane. Like, there's so many features that will just, like, create a shortcut, like coloring. The amount of stuff you could do with color is just so quick. That was the single longest thing in Rip the Falcon, because I use a certain kind of brush to make Rip look like a bird. It's very painterly. It's a gouache brush, and every single frame is hand animated. No fill bucket stuff. Like, everything is, done uniquely. And that takes forever. And when you're doing, like, I want to say it was like 6,000 frames or something like that. That's 6,000 drawings, man. So with TV Paint, it's like it's gonna save hours, maybe days, of just painstaking, frame by frame animation. Also, it is very frame by frame, if not the frame by frame. The workflow is very straightforward and very similar to what I already use. I use Clip Studio Paint, and before I use Clip Studio Paint, I use Krita. And all of those software, very basic, very simple, straightforward. You draw one drawing and you draw another drawing. And there's, the learning curve is analog instead of digital. There's not a whole lot of motion tweening, although there are keyframes and you could do tweening, but, it's traditional. It's very traditional. Recently, I got excited. I bought a Colin Johnson desk, an animation desk that is hand drawn with paper and everything, just like the Disney animation desks. I wanted to feel what it was like to be one of those guys sitting at a big desk and cartooning like the old days. And when I found out about TV Paint's pegboard feature, where you can line up the pegs and actually like get the perspectives on field guides and everything, I immediately wanted to pencil test. And so I got my big Colin Johnson desk out. It took up my entire desk, and I made two pencil tests. Um, and they came out good, but what I found out is that it takes so much more time. And I wanted to say, wow, like paper is superior. There's something about paper that will be like the defining, this is better. But honestly, the real benefit of having a paper desk is just the feeling of drawing on paper. It feels so good to draw on paper with pencil and, to flip and everything. But honestly, uh, doing it that way and making the pencil test, and you can see one of them on my channel. I think that it is not convenient. Technology is improved, and it just takes too much time for me to justify doing a full video that way. It would take hours, if not weeks, of animating just simply in scanning time. It took me over 10 minutes to scan 11 frames. It's like a minute of frames, so it's like it was crazy. So with amounts of like 6,000 frames, like, you will go crazy. You'll lose your mind. And it was a fun test. It was a little experiment. I gotta brag, I used it. But I am glad I live in today's world of animation. Like, I love the 90s. That's kind of what I'm about, and that's what this channel is about. But it wouldn't be able for me to make any of this in the 90s. Like, if I wanted to animate and do a show, I wouldn't be able to do it from home in the 1990s. So, while I love the art style and, the attitude and everything, all that stuff, with modern day technology and the companies that run the technology, not Adobe, okay, people with ethics, you can do it from home. You can be a studio with just a computer. And I'm freaking, like, I'm having the time of my life doing nothing but sitting in my room. It's like I literally have the most boring life for someone who's doing stuff. I spend all day in my house and I draw. But, I have tons of people to talk to, and it's like they're all over the world, and we all just get to share our creations. And I've lived in Eugene over 15 years, and to this day, I haven't met a single artist that's on the same page as me, ironically. And, with the way you can just find someone who's like on YouTube or Facebook or Twitter, and they're just the same thing. Like, you can find your people. Technology is shitty, but at the same time, I think it's powerful and it's really advanced, and there's a lot of good things about today's technology. there's a lot of services and things that I really appreciate. I really like Discord. Discord is kind of reminds me of AOL, AIM, instant messaging, because it's simple and it's just text, and you can avoid political shit. Like, you go into a Discord and there's like guidelines, and then there's things you can talk about and things you can't talk about, and it makes chatting with friends so easy. Like, oh wow, I don't have to talk about Will Smith today. That's awesome. I could just fucking share memes. So, I'm pretty optimistic after like the bitter 2010s. For a decade that's going to be remembered for pandemics and World War III, and comedy having to be defended. I think that the 2020s are way better than the 2010s, because in the 2010s everything was just like gray. There was just nothing but turmoil and crime and violence, and it was just extremely tumultuous. I can't say that word. I'm really bad at pronunciation, but it was a really rough decade, and this is a rough decade, but it's also like there's stuff that is really exciting. We're going somewhere new, and things are going up for me, and I honestly think that the theme of this podcast is, like, this episode podcast is that the time is now. Like, it could be the worst day in the world, but it's what you make it. And it is really about using what's in front of you. I didn't know where I was gonna be when COVID happened, and I just decided to just try and learn a skill, and things have been going so well that it's honestly like a photograph album. You could just kind of look back and go, wow, that's so much stuff happened. And I'm not trying to brag, but I'm trying to paint a picture that it is really fast when you are working. It's kind of like when you're at a restaurant, or you're working somewhere where when it gets busy, it moves fast. The day goes by quick. And I'm going to be doing this this is what I do. This is my life. And I'm optimistic for the first time in like 10 years. It has been a long time since I was happy, because forever I was bitter, I was angry, I felt like the world sucked, I felt like everything was falling apart, and it still is, if not terribly worse, but I'm seeing a light at the end of the tunnel. It's kind of like the Renaissance. It happened after the Dark Ages. You have to have the Dark Ages to have a Renaissance, otherwise it wouldn't be called a Renaissance. That's literally the cycle. So, with the way I see things, and the way my success has been going, I think literally anybody can pick up a Wacom tablet or something and start animating and get somewhere. Because it took me like forever, but I'm feeling like in a short time I could actually get big. Like, I'm feeling it. I'm hungry and I feel it. And I just want to tell everybody that if you do art, you gotta love it. You gotta fucking love it. Like, there's literally like no other thing I can say more than, if you want to be an artist, you have to be an artist. It's something that you simply can't live without. Like, if you think that, like, you can just put it aside and not do it anymore, you're probably not going to do this stuff professionally. But if you have like a burning fucking passion for this shit, then it won't let you quit. You'll literally not be able to quit, you know what I mean? It's like an addiction. So yeah, I don't know. I had this feeling, I had this thought in my brain, and I just had a lot to say. And I did kind of talk a lot about me, but I'm trying to talk about it in a way that inspires. And I hope it does. I hope you listen to this and you get excited. So I'll see you guys. It is 8:12 now, so I'll see you next time.